Hätte es nicht mal auffallen müssen, als sie hier in den Stand gegangen ist?
Order, order, order. This is crazy, Prosecutor Gavin.
Is it now?
Please shed some sanity on this madness. The defense has made an outrageous claim.
The only thing outrageous I see about the defense is his vast forehead. Kann er damit mal aufhören? Yet I see it is not vast in vain. This time, he's quite correct.
But that makes no sense.
Yeah, wasn't she supposed to be the landscape painter in sound or something? Das wusste ich natürlich. Ich hatte nur keine Lust, das zu sagen. Ja, ich glaube auch.
Well, since we have her here...
Why not ask Lameroa herself? I believe she is still in the witness waiting room. Apollo, what does this mean for our case? Don't ask me. I had no idea she couldn't see. I hadn't even imagined it until now.
Bailiff, bring in Lameroa.
Lameroa, it pains me deeply to call you before us again in this way, and yet I must. Wie viele Finger halte ich hoch? Und dann hier so. Please do not be concerned on my behalf. Those eyes, she really can't see? Really? It is true. Oh, how funny it is that a tiny light born in the Virginian countryside would one day grow to entangle the entire world.
So you are...
Yes, as I mentioned before, I have no memory of the time before I became Lameroa. Know too that my memories begin in darkness. The word light has no meaning for Lameroa.
I see.
You may recall me saying something toward the beginning of this trial, her forehead. Huh? What is that? I believe I said it was unfortunate this crime had no direct witnesses. Now, Lameroa, I must ask you to stand once more. Will you testify to the court about your eyes? Of course. It was never my intent to deceive any of you. May I begin, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. Though I admit I'm a little lost here.
I think we're all a bit lost here, Your Honor. I have no memory of the light. I debuted in a world of darkness and sound. My producer came up with my PR line before he knew this. So silly as it may sound, I had to pretend I could see. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. Ja, das frage ich mich bei Gavin auch. Ich finde Gavin generell als Prosecutor nicht so stark. Ich habe ja auch schon öfters gesagt, dass ich Teil 4 zwar nicht schlecht finde, aber halt nicht so gut wie die anderen Teile. Gavin als Prosecutor ist halt auch einer der Gründe irgendwie. Was bei Edgeworth damals in Teil 1, der hat immer eine ganze Menge Theater gemacht, aber es steckte immer was dahinter. Am Schluss hast du immer wieder gemerkt, der hat dich gerade voll reingelegt. Der hat dich die ganze Zeit an der Nase herumgeführt. Und bei Clavier sehe ich irgendwie keine so richtige Logik dahinter. Genau, und Edgeworth hat halt oft, da hast du auch dann Sachen gehabt, da hast du gar nicht erst gemerkt, dass du ihm gerade in die Hände spielst. Es wirkte so, als hättest du jetzt ihm eins ausgewischt. Und dann stand er da und hat so sein gemacht und hat dann auf einmal erklärt, warum er die ganze Zeit nur wollte, dass das genauso abgelaufen ist, wie es gerade abgelaufen ist, weil in Wahrheit er wieder irgendwie was anderes wusste und das, was du jetzt gerade bewiesen hast, spielte ihm da voll in die Karten und so weiter. Das war irgendwie, also bei Edgeworth hatte ich echt immer das Gefühl, du hast die ganze Zeit jemanden da zum Feind, den du nicht zum Feind haben willst. Und da steckte halt immer sehr viel System und wie sagt man, sehr viel List hinter allem. Bei Gavin, ja, das wirkt irgendwie wie Show, aber nicht wirklich sehr zielstrebig. Man könnte sich jetzt wirklich fragen, warum jetzt überhaupt dieses ganze Theater.
But this is a murder trial.
I apologize. It was part of my contract, you see. I was to keep my blindness a secret no matter what. Music is everything for me. I never imagined something like this would... She told us the truth in the beginning. Na gut, das wäre jetzt vielleicht ein Argument dafür, dass Gavin die ganze Zeit versucht hat, das so ablaufen zu lassen, ohne das erklären zu müssen. Andererseits im Gericht muss man darauf ja eigentlich keine Rücksicht nehmen. Da sollte man eigentlich von Anfang an sagen, ja, übrigens, der ist nicht blind und übrigens, die ist blind. When she said she saw nothing.
Very well. Does the defense have anything to add?
I'd like to cross-examine. But what is there left to ask? There was one thing in her testimony that bothered me. Perhaps it is best we let you get it out of your system then. Someday you'll come to understand the importance of thinking for yourself.
Very well. The defense may proceed. However, be aware this court will not tolerate any questions deemed too stressful to the witness.
Okay, there was only one part that bothered me anyway. Just let me ask about that and I'll be happy. Okay, dann lass uns mal gucken, was das denn ist. Everyone on my staff knew, of course, but no others. Das vielleicht? I suppose that's her confession of sorts. There's just one part that bothers me, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. When you say your staff, do you include Mr. Latouche? Of course, he was my manager. So he knew, and that's what's been bugging me. Wieso? Weil er meinte, es gäbe einen Zeugen und dann sie genannt hat?
Something the matter, Mr. Justice?
I believe I know what is bothering you, our young defense attorney. You are thinking of when you discovered the body, yes? Is he right, Apollo? Yes, I was. He's alive. Mr. Latouche, can you hear me?
Cold, so cold. Witness.
You're cold? Don't worry, you're going to be fine. Help is on the way.
Can't see.
Hang in there, Mr. Latouche. Tell me, who was the witness?
The witness is Siren.
Mr. Latouche told me to ask the witness and he named you. Why would he do that? Aber er hat ja auch gesagt, witness can't see, wenn man das jetzt mal so lesen möchte. He knew you were blind. I don't know. Huh? What did I just say? You need to learn to think for yourself. Meaning what? There's no mystery here if you recall everything he said. Think of his last words once more.
The witness, Siren. We've heard them many times, along with a little play acting by our defense.
I remember them well myself, but that statement is not to what I refer. Ja, wahrscheinlich das, was ich gerade gesagt habe. I mean what he said before that. Before? What came before that? That's right, he tried to tell you. When he said can't see, he wasn't talking about himself. He was talking about the witness.
I see.
Too bad the defense did not. Well, Herr Forehead, try relaxing and looking at the facts first next time.
Order, order.
Recall Lamoureux's earlier testimony. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There were 2 shots. I couldn't do anything to stop it.
But she couldn't have heard those gunshots. I thought we proved that.
That is not the most important point here. The moment he was shot, Mr. Latouche witnessed her through that window. Why else would he have named her as the witness? But I really did hear them. 2 gunshots, and the man's voice. Unfortunately, such a thing was impossible. The window was closed. We have already run a simulation, of course. But it was so clear. If I heard that voice again, I would know it in an instant. Vielleicht hatte sie noch dieses Earpiece drin. Da lag doch so ein Earpiece auf dem Boden.
Your Honor.
Ganz halt welche komische Geräusche. Vielleicht kommt Gavin gleich vorbei.
What is it, bailiff? Can't you see we're in session here? We have nurse all back from the investigation.
Das habe ich auch gerade gedacht. Jetzt kommt der Kollege von Gavin da rein, der Darian, und dann sagt sie, das ist die Stimme.
The investigation?
Ah, the Interpol number that Mr. Latouche left us.
Well, let's hear it. We will continue this cross-examination afterward. Detective Crescent, your report, please.
I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. Quick work as always, Darian.
Well, tell us about the number. Is the defendant a secret agent?
IPXX 314206. The agent registered under this number was Romain Latouche. Hab's doch gesagt. What? Our undercover Interpol agent was Mr. Latouche himself. He was apparently in the middle of an operation. So when he wrote those letters, he was trying to tell us his own identity, and a cautious killer tried to wipe them away. Mr. Latouche was an undercover Interpol agent, so him being Lamiroir's manager was just a cover, most likely. There's one other important detail I found. Well, out with it. It concerns that 45 caliber revolver, the murder weapon. Apparently it belonged to Romain Latouche. He had an Interpol permit to carry firearms, and the registration number on the revolver matched. So the victim was killed with his own weapon, which makes sense. It's hard to imagine someone who wasn't an Interpol agent with such a large revolver. So the victim was an Interpol agent on an undercover OP. I wonder how that ties into everything. It's gotta tie in somehow, you'd think. Yeah, somehow.
Thanks for looking into that for us, Detective Crescent. It's a great help.
Oh, no problem at all, Your Honor. I'll be heading out. Und jetzt kommt Lamiroir und sagt, das ist die Stimme. Wait.
Lamiroir, is something the matter?
That voice just now. Darian? Mr. Darian, is it? It was him. I am sure of it.
It was him?
You aren't saying. That voice I heard talking to Mr. Latouche when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darian. Is this some kind of a joke? What?
No way.
Oh, Klavier, Gavin, hast du dir die falschen Leute ausgesucht? In deiner Band. The courtroom fell into such a chaotic state, the trial had to be suspended temporarily. I'd never seen that happen before. Vielleicht ist Mr. Latouche ja ein Interpol-Agent gewesen, der irgendwas von Darian untersuchen wollte. Ich meine, Darian soll ja angeblich Police Officer sein, aber vielleicht hat er Dreck am Stecken gehabt. Of course, it's not every day that you get an accusation like that one. Lamiroir fingering Darian Crescent. Not only is he a guitarist, he's a detective. Could it really have been his voice Lamiroir heard? Things were changing fast, and frankly, I wasn't sure I could keep up with it. Hey, no one wimping out now, Apollo. Das habe ich auch gerade gedacht. Und dann habe ich mir gedacht, ich wette, ich muss jetzt gar nichts dazu sagen, weil das jemand anders tun wird. A true Christian never disappoints. July 9th, 2:12 p.m. Write Anything Agency. Hey, Apollo! What? Well, actually, nothing. I mean, something, or maybe not. Out with it. The suspense is giving me an ulcer. Well, the trial today, I was thinking, if you gave it a score, what score would you give it? 0-2 million. Score? Gee, I guess I would, or maybe, well, I'm just as bad as you. Over 9,000. See, it's so vague. Clearly. Machi avoided a guilty verdict, which is something, though I can't say I'm any less confused about the case. I asked Interpol about that number. I'm sure you'll find their answer intriguing. IPXX314206, the agent registered at this number was Romain Latouche. And the victim, Mr. Latouche? Who would have guessed he was actually an undercover Interpol agent? What a mess, and we don't have any idea what he was investigating. Well, true, but we know who shot him now. Lamiroir told the whole court. Ja, ne, wobei andererseits, ich meine, ich schätze mal, da kann er schlecht drüber lügen, weil das könnte ja auch nochmal jemand anders gegenchecken. Also ich habe mich auch gefragt, ob er jetzt einfach irgendeinen Quatsch erzählt, ne? Aber andererseits, ich weiß nicht, wenn er jetzt wirklich was damit zu tun hat, will er sich vielleicht nicht noch verdächtiger machen. Und wenn er dann irgendwas erzählt, was jeder andere nochmal eben nachchecken und dann sofort herausfinden kann, dass es nicht stimmt. Ich weiß nicht. Aber ja, es stimmt schon. Ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob man das jetzt noch glauben soll, aber ich bin auch nicht direkt komplett überzeugt davon, dass es nicht stimmt. Voices now. It was him. I am sure of it. It was I heard talking to Mr. Tooth when I heard the gunshots fired. It was him. It was Mr. Darien. It's another mystery, Apollo. I love mysteries. I don't. Speaking of mysteries, what's Mr. Wright up to? I wouldn't mind asking his opinion. Oh, nee. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen Daddy around. What, is he some kind of stray that just wanders in and out at will? I wouldn't say that, but he has been going out a lot. Ja, ich meine, im Krankenhaus sollte der doch jetzt inzwischen eigentlich nicht mehr sein, oder er ist doch ihr Vater. Warum ist er denn nicht hier? Some top secret mission, he said. Oh. Top secret mission. Ich meine, vielleicht macht er ja gerade schon irgendwas, was dann im finalen Fall kommt. Top secret? Anyway, you can't just rely on him to save the day. And you got me to help you. We'll be fine. Fine, right. Well, time's a-wasting, as they say. Let's investigate. That's the spirit. Oh, Gott. Oh mein Gott. Ups. Ich habe gerade die Pfeiltaste von meiner Tastatur aus Versehen abgemacht. So. Ich bin ja immer wieder begeistert davon, dass das bei Tastaturen geht. Dass man die ab und dran machen kann, ohne dass es direkt kaputt ist. Ja, ich kann ja jede jede Taste abnehmen und es ist ja nicht irgendwie so, oh nein, das ist was abgebrochen, sie geht nie wieder drauf. Ja, nicht bei allen, klar, aber bei den meisten ist das nicht weiter schlimm. Mittlerweile nur bei den guten. Gut, man sollte sich natürlich auch eine gute Tastatur kaufen. Munchie may not be guilty, but he's still a suspect. Ja, aber wie willst du mit ihm reden? Es stimmte zwar nicht, dass er blind ist, aber es stimmt, glaube ich, immer noch, dass er kein Englisch kann. But they don't have any decisive evidence. Yeah, but only someone as small as him could have gotten out of that room. Right, the air vent. And he lied. Lied? Munchie told me I can see. Ja gut, aber das war ja jetzt keine Lüge hier vor Gericht, sondern eher schon vorher und nur um Lameroy zu helfen. Ah, Machi. Speak of the devil. He looks like he's doing okay. I forget, why did we come here? It's not like we can talk to him or anything. Words are overrated. Feelings are what matter, Apollo. It's kind of hard to build a court case on feelings. But since we're here anyway, might as well get what I want to say off my chest. If you need someone to complain to, I'll listen. I think she's actually worried for me. The trial today. So, what did you think of the trial today? Oh, I'm glad he doesn't understand English after all. If he did, he would have been scared out of his mind by that trial. You have to be more goal-oriented. If he's innocent, we win. No, he's found not guilty, we win. Machi might not understand English, but I bet he gets that better than you do. Huh? I'm glad Lameroy testified. What a great person. She even got Machi off the hook by naming another suspect. Darien of the Governors, the detective. I wonder if Machi knows what happened. I mean, if he could follow how the trial went at all. If no one told him there's a new suspect, how would he know? Hey, what is it, Apollo? Nah, it's nothing. I must be imagining it. Imagining what, Apollo? It's just, I couldn't help but feel that, I don't know, Machi, he doesn't understand what we're saying, right? How could he? He's a young Virginian, he doesn't speak English. Yeah, but my bracelet is reacting to him. Huh? Maybe it's malfunctioning. Or it's scared because you keep making those I'm so mad faces. Was it that bad? Machi lied about not being able to see, but what if that's not all he lied about? If you're curious about it, there's only one thing to do. You should ask him. I think it'll take something big to get to him, some kind of undeniable evidence. We'll be back, Machi. Das klingt ja jetzt allmählich tatsächlich so, als könnte er doch Englisch verstehen. So, Machi, you can see, right? Machi can see and Le Miroir can't. The whole world's gone topsy-turvy. Sorry, Apollo. I don't think we're going to get any information out of Machi. Which makes sense. Yeah, I guess it does. Sunshine Coliseum? What the fuck is that? Achso, das ist... Okay, wo das war. Whoa, what a great day. It's perfect weather for sleuthing. The weather matters for an investigation? Don't some days just feel like magic days or defense days? Sure. Let's get started, shall we? Right on. Show us your stuff, Apollo.
What stuff?
Your voice training. This is the perfect place for it.
I did enough at home, thanks.
Oh, there's no need to be shy. Keep that up and you'll never make it on the big stage.
I'm happy in the courtroom, thank you. I am a lawyer.
And you're in luck, because it's lawyer weather today. Don't you just want to face the blue sky and shout objection?
Look, the weather has nothing to do with lawyers. Let's get going already. Sunshine Coliseum sure is living up to its name today.
It's huge. And Mr. Gavin got to play on that enormous stage. I'm so jealous. Someday I'll fight my first battle on this stage.
Battle?
Well, yeah, it's a Coliseum, isn't it?
They don't do gladiatorial contests at these places anymore, Truzy.
Really? I had no idea. I wonder why they stopped.
Sometimes I worry about her. What's that creature there?
Oh, that's the police mascot, the blue badger.
Huh? It's life-size.
Haven't you seen them around town patrolling the streets? Yes, now even Law and Order has a mascot.
I'd run from that thing even if I wasn't a criminal. Why does its head wobble like that when it walks? It's freaky.
I don't think you're showing the true blue badger spirit, Apollo.
Genau. Wird danach wieder abgerissen. Wow, warum hat er sogar einen Zeppelin?
Look, a blimp.
Those balloons next to the sponsor ads on them.
Let's see. Big sale, all shirts 50% off.
Oh, it's an ad for the department store next door. Look, a massive sign for the Guilty as Charged tour. A giant Prosecutor Gavin stares out over the arena.
Oh, maybe I can take it to the office when they're done with it.
Where would you put it? You couldn't even get that thing through the front door.
Then I'll put it outside. I bet it'd be good for business.
Just as long as no one comes expecting us to prosecute.
Well, if anyone comes looking for a concert, leave it to me.
Is this part of some twisted plan of ours to make her singing debut, I wonder? Wer weiß, vielleicht kann sie ja total gut singen. Okay, hier gibt's wohl nix.
Nein, nicht zurück zur fucking... Oh, Shirts auf, klingt gut. Ich dachte, das erste wäre direkt irgendwas da drin. Backstage Hallway. Ah, Mr. Attorney.
Le Miroir.
I'm sorry about today, There's nothing you need to apologize for. You were merely defending Machi. Are you okay? Alone, I mean? Humans are blessed with 5 senses. Even robbed of one, we get by. Though it does make being a witness rather difficult. Speaking of seeing, you knew who we were before we spotted you just now. And we weren't even talking.
Du fragst gerade dasselbe wie Trucy.
I heard your footsteps several times the day before. Oh, you must have great ears.
Ears that heard the crime taking place. Or so she claimed yesterday, but how? Let's ask her. That was quite a statement you made today in court, about hearing Darian Crescent's voice at the scene of the crime. Sorry. Great ears and no gag reflex. Das könnte auch ein Titel sein von einem Film, den du wahrscheinlich gerne gucken würdest.
I did not know his name, but I never forget a voice. Wait,
Labrador, something the matter? It was just now. It was him. Das hatten wir doch jetzt schon zweimal. In a way.
As I said in court, I was on my way backstage from the stage. That is when I heard his voice.
I'm guessing Darian and Mr. Latouche were talking about something.
The next moment I heard those gunshots.
Why didn't you call security?
To be honest, though the noise was quite frightening, I never imagined the gunshots might be real. And I was in quite a hurry myself. I left the scene at once.
So it really was Darian's voice that she heard?
Yeah.
At least she certainly thinks it was.
I met Machi before my debut as La Miroir. I was singing in a restaurant in Virginia, and he was playing the piano? Yes. He was very kind to me when he learned I could not see.
Is that when you started playing opposites? With Machi pretending he couldn't see?
No, it wasn't then. That began after our major debut, after I became known as the landscape painter in sound.
It must have been tough for Machi, pretending he couldn't see and all the while acting as your eyes.
We held hands always. He would write with his finger on my palm to signal to me things I should know. He's a smart, gentle boy.
I think I see what she's getting at. Machi would never harm a soul. About Mr. Latouche.
Ah yes, he was an Interpol agent, I hear.
So you had no idea?
Of course not. No one did.
I guess that's what it means to be undercover.
But someone was after him. They had to know who he really was. Why did he pose as my manager? I do not understand.
You have no idea.
I can only assume that he was investigating me. But why?
What makes you think that?
Perhaps it is not so, but I cannot deny the possibility.
Echt wahr.
Because of my condition. As my present is veiled in darkness, so too is my past clouded from memory.
Clouded, right? Darkness. Eternal darkness.
The darkness that I fear is not the darkness that I see whenever I open my eyes. The real darkness lies in my heart.
In your heart?
I have no memory of the time before I became La Miroir. I have walked from darkness into darkness, you might say. I was singing in a restaurant those days.
What was it that she said about not being able to remember the lie?
I do not know my past. Perhaps I committed some terrible crime in my past. Everything before becoming La Miroir is lost to me.
But I don't think you...
I can think of no other explanation. Why else would an agent of Interpol approach me?
Do you think your past might be related to this case?
No way, that seems really unlikely to me. I mean, you're such a sweet person, La Miroir. I thank you, Mr. I thank you. Machi too tells me this often when I fear who I might have been.
Haben wir noch was, was wir zeigen können? Können wir erstmal weitergehen.
That's been lying there since the day before yesterday.
It's small. Maybe no one's noticed it.
Vielleicht lag das ja vorher nicht da, sondern da, wo La Miroir am Fenster stand und deswegen hat sie was gehört.
Also das... Vielleicht war irgendwo in dem Zimmer noch so ein Ding, oder der Darian, falls er es war, hatte so ein Ding noch an. Ich weiß nicht.
I kinda wanna pick it up. It'd make a cool souvenir, don't you think?
It does stick out in my mind for some reason. Ja, dann ist doch wenigstens ein Court Record mit auf. That's the governor's dressing room. They're all out on the investigation. Being backstage isn't half as glamorous without a band here. That would be the Blue Badger, the police mascot. There's a guy outside in a giant Blue Badger costume, lumbering about. He stands out even more than those governor's posters.
It's all the same. He's the band mascot too, you know.
I can't picture Prosecutor Gavin going for that kind of thing.
Neither can I. I bet there's a story there just waiting to be told.
Looks like an instrument case, a big instrument case.
There's a great magic trick you can do with one of these.
Huh? What kind?
The miraculous beautiful girl escapes the case illusion.
So it's the girl who's miraculous, not the escape.
So picky.
A concert poster for the guilty as charged tour.
I love that name, guilty as charged.
Seems kind of a negative to me.
Well, why don't we do...
Ach, das hatten wir, glaube ich, schon mit den Jurisprudence innocent as charged, ja. Das hatten wir schon. Kommt hier dann auch wieder dasselbe. I'm thirsty, want something to drink. How about this one? Und es gibt ja ihr Geld. Ist dasselbe wie davor. Let's glam Laurent's dressing room and the scene of the crime. It's kind of lightly guarded for being a crime scene.
I'm not complaining, makes it easier for us to go in. And Emma gave us her okay, right? We can wander in and do as we like.
How is Emma doing anyway? I hope she's not getting cavities from eating all those chocolate snackoos. Vielleicht ist sie ja in dem Zimmer da drin. Können wir ja mal nachgucken. Haben wir noch irgendwas, was wir ihr präsentieren sollten? Do you think you could tell me about this?
I'm sorry, but my information about the outside world is somewhat limited. I only know what I have heard or felt.
Maybe that explains why she didn't react when I showed her stuff the other day. She was still pretending she could see then. Oh, stimmt. Jetzt, wo ich so drüber nachdenke. Ja gut, dann müssen wir wahrscheinlich nichts zeigen, oder? Ich will trotzdem einmal alles durchgehen. Nicht, dass wieder irgendwo eine kleine Sache fehlt. Das geht ja schnell. Ich meine, er könnte ja auch einfach sagen, was er ihr zeigt. Vielleicht hat sie dann noch was dazu zu sagen. Aber sieht aus, als wäre das alles irrelevant. Okay, umso besser. Bei Outside World tatsächlich, ich habe neulich hatte ich auch noch wieder irgendwas, wo Outside World vorkam. Und jedes Mal, wenn ich Outside World lese, denke ich an Danganronpa. Ist interessant zu lesen, dass ich nicht der Einzige bin. Hatte ich das bei dem Zirkusfall, dass ich irgendein Item vergessen habe, irgendwem zu zeigen und dann ewig nicht weiterkam? Ich weiß es gar nicht mehr. Ich meine, ich habe die Spiele früher auch mal alleine gespielt und ich bin mir ziemlich sicher, dass mir das da auch öfters passiert ist. A police uniform hangs on the stand here.
Oh, I want to try it on. Nothing to see here. Move.
Okay, das hatten wir auch schon. Ist ein bisschen blöd, dass jetzt hier dieselben Texte kommen wie am Abend davor. Das Police Recruitment Poster doing here. Vor allem kann ich die jetzt nicht überspringen, obwohl wir die theoretisch schon hatten. This is silly. Please. Ja, das hatten wir alles schon. Ich will jetzt aber halt auch nicht hier direkt wieder rausgehen, weil nachher gibt es hier doch irgendwas Neues, was ich untersuchen muss. Okay. Ah, nein, nicht das nochmal. Ah, Entschuldigung. Trucy könnte ja mal was zu der Handschellen sagen. This is a good high school dance, something or decoration on paper, not chains. The cabinets are into chains. As part of the image, no kidding. Ever since they used chains in the cover art, we're gonna look you up. They're really doing the whole police thing, aren't they? It'd be cooler if they turned that red light on. They don't have to turn on the red light. Someone do the cameras marking lipstick here. Lipstick, I'd like to wear lips. Ja, das hatten wir auch schon. Ich will jetzt nicht das ganze Zimmer hier nochmal durchgehen, nur um Texte zu kriegen, die wir schon hatten. Da sagst du was. Das war die Gitarre, wo sie eine Polizeiautotür als Grafik genutzt haben. Oh, Moment. Ich glaube, war das jetzt doch neu? A cruiser guitar. They sold those to commemorate 5 years of the band. Rocking it hard under the speed limit. This cruiser bass, cruiser drum set, cruiser keyboard, even cruiser whistle. I'm not so sure about that last one. It's for blowing the whistle on criminals. I don't think that requires an actual whistle, Trucy.
Where's that plastic bowl of stew sitting there? I bet they use it for interrating bad guys. Fast up to, ja, das hatten wir auch. Also gibt's jetzt irgendwie nichts Neues, oder? Hätte hier gar nicht reingehen müssen. Da sind halt auch die Dinger. Stack of Lemoire's postcards. There it is. The landscape painter and sound. It must be hard to pretend you can see when you can't. Yet the way she sings so effortlessly, you'd think she had life easy. Some people are just impressive like that. You know it. It just makes me think about how much further I have to go. I hope we can solve this quickly and not add to her troubles. Was haben wir da noch? Those are some pretty heavy-duty gloves. Maybe they have to carry around hot pots or something. They are a little thick. I couldn't even stuff a pigeon in those. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes. Nee, aber dann hätte ich mir den Raum jetzt auch irgendwie sparen können. Na gut. Right after the shooting took place, Leroy tried to come into the dressing room and dropped her brooch. I think that fits with the other stuff we know. Do you think the timing of when she dropped it is important? Yeah, something about it bugs me, that's for sure. Ja, ich meine, warum ist es überhaupt da? Also, wenn sie nur kurz die Tür auf und wieder zugemacht hat. Und ja, jetzt sehe ich auch, dass die Einschusslöcher waren doch hier, nicht da. Ich weiß gar nicht, wie ich auf die Idee gekommen war, dass sie da wären. Look at the way those bullets tore through this thick wall. That revolver really was something else. I wonder if someone as little as me could even fire it. Dislocating your shoulder would kind of put a crimp on your stage career. Daddy always has stiff shoulders. Maybe that could loosen him up. Don't even mention it. I'm afraid he might go out and actually try it. Nah, he doesn't have the guts to pull the trigger, I bet. The shooter must have used that to climb up to the vent. All this tragedy because someone left a stepladder here. I don't think Mr. Latouche was shot because of the ladder. You think it was Machi? I guess that air vent is pretty small after all. Does that prove he was at the scene? Das könnte natürlich sein, dass er da war. Aber halt nicht als Täter, aber als Zeuge. Did he escape in the time between the gunshots and us opening the door? They found Machi Tobaya's fingerprints on that air vent. What's with the long face? It's a little lackluster, you know? Lackluster? I mean, using the air vent is so obvious. No audience is going to pay good money to see a trick like that. Things must look different through a magician's eyes. It'd be much cooler if the killer got out through that tiny window. Don't go there, you'll get your head stuck. Genau. Ja, aber vielleicht kann er ja doch Englisch, dann hätte er es mir auch einfach auf Englisch sagen können. Kevin's poster. How many of those did they put up anyway? Prosecutor Kevin looked so cool on stage. You should learn to play the guitar too, Apollo. You can accompany my magic act. We'd certainly be a novelty act if nothing else. I'll think about it if I ever lose my attorney's badge. That's one of the biggest, most expensive-looking TVs I've ever seen. Too bad you'll never own one. Never is kind of harsh, Druzy. How about for all eternity? Okay, das ist gut. Same difference. Ah, ich wollte nicht die dumme Step leider nochmal untersuchen. Sondern hier das. Look, it's fruit. Fruit, Apollo, fruit. Amazing. I heard you the first time. It sure is a lot of fruit. I doubt anyone would miss a bit of watermelon. I know, I'll make it vanish into my stomach. Better not, they might make you pay for it. And if you have the money for that, you should probably repaint the office first. Watermelons are that expensive? These could have been imported from the exotic locale for all we know. Ja, Apollo wird bezahlt in Liebe. Keine Ahnung. Ich meine, gut, für den einen Fall wird er... Ja, stimmt, Tiala. Jetzt, wo du sagst, ich wollte gerade sagen, für den einen Fall wird er wohl bezahlt worden sein. Aber die Person, die ihn beauftragt hat, war ja Tiala. Speaking of monitoring the stage, it was blaring at the time of the shooting. It's a pretty old model for such a nice place. I guess they don't care about sound quality back here, as long as you can hear it. Not that a loss of fidelity could possibly make that music worse. Good speakers must cost a lot. You have any idea how much a nice one that size would cost, Apollo? Probably good 10 years of your allowance, give or take. What? But that's almost $600. $5 a month? Poor Trucy. Also, das ist wirklich ein bisschen wenig, wenn die 15 ist. Wait till she finds out you need to buy 2 speakers for a stereo. Ich habe gerade ein Achievement bekommen for having learned about Trucy's monthly allowance. Was? Wieso gibt's denn da für ein Achievement? Das ist jetzt ziemlich random, aber okay. Also ohne Scheiß. Ich glaube, die Achievements werden in OBS nicht angezeigt, aber da stand, das Achievement war for learning about Trucy's monthly allowance. It's a poster for another show. This summer, Legal Eagles production of Case Closed. I looked into their performance group. Turns out they're all law enforcement related too. Apparently, their serious portrayal of law and order is a big draw. That sounds so boring. It's probably pretty interesting. You're a complicated man, Mr. Apollo Justice. Okay, hier sehe ich jetzt aber sonst auch nichts Wichtiges. Sie wird noch was für ihre Auftritte kriegen, ja, das hoffe ich ja mal. A stack of presents for La Miroir. Stars always get the biggest presents. You know, you could give me a present, Apollo. Here, have a piece of candy. Gee, thanks. She must not get a lot of presents, poor girl. Eine 3 Jahre. Ja, wahrscheinlich. That's one of those permanent dryers you see in hair salons. Is that what they're really called? Permanent dryers? Do I look like a beautician? I just know they dry your hair and give you a permanent. It just doesn't sound very glamorous, you know? Okay, how about a perm machine? Or you could go more simple, like permer. This isn't a bad game. Thinking of official names of things. Not that it makes the name actually official or anything. Seeing these mirrors lined up like that makes me think I'm really in a dressing room. Look at all that makeup. All I know is they sure make for much of a clue. I guess he's not into makeup yet. That's one heavy-duty bouquet over there. I have trouble thinking of flowers as being heavy-duty, but they call lots of things heavy-duty. Not flowers, they don't. What about a heavy scent? I think you mean heady. What if the flowers were plastic? They still wouldn't be heavy. Okay, what if they were made out of metal? What, like a magnolia made out of steel? Exactly. Though I hope all my fans don't start throwing metal flowers at me. Hey, look. A part of the carpet has been torn up here. That was the part we did the luminol testing on in court, you dumbass. Luminol, right. You know what I couldn't stop thinking? Who's gonna pay for this carpet? As long as it's not us. Maybe the shooter? I guess it's true what they say. Crime doesn't pay. I would hope that carpet replacement costs weren't the only thing holding you back. The murder weapon. So it belonged to Mr. Latouche. That thing makes normal revolvers look like water guns. Mr. Latouche was a big man, but how about the person who shot him? Wouldn't they have to be about his size? No clues here. Okay. Hier denn jetzt auch alles? Ach, das Fenster wahrscheinlich noch nicht. Ist es kein Dressing Room, wenn ich in allen Flaschen da hinten auch... Das hätte eigentlich von mir kommen müssen. This was the window where La Miroir saw the crime from. I wish it was that simple. Kinda hard to see a crime when you can't see. But she did hear it. Yeah, but the window was closed. Maybe she heard it some other way. Ja, irgendwas. Wir haben schon diesen komischen, wie heißt das nochmal? Dieses Headphone-Ding gefunden auf dem Boden. Es hat bestimmt irgendwas damit zu tun. Vielleicht hat sie, ich meine, es kann ja sogar sein, dass das Ding schon da lag, wo es jetzt liegt. Und sie hat ja so super Ohren, dass sie das trotzdem darüber gehört hat. Weil das auf dem Flur lag und der Flur ist ja da dann direkt um die Ecke. Okay, aber hier gibt es jetzt eigentlich auch nichts mehr. Können wir auch wieder hier weggehen. Vielleicht mal zur Stage gehen.